Hello, and welcome to the 8th-Bit Podcast. I'm Anthony, and I have the whole group with me today. I have Derek, Moscow, Kat, Gwen, and Victoria.
That's a fucking lie. Ryan's not here.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan's Batman tonight. So, fun fact.
Really a lie, though?
The reason I say he's Batman tonight, he sent me this fucking Snapchat, okay?
I got it too.
He was sitting in his car in his, security guard uniform, and it's an all-black uniform with a hat, and he had the hat pulled down like Ash Ketchum in Pokemon. So it had a shadow over his eye. Yeah,
Oh, Jesus
I
Christ.
told him he looked like Batman.
Wait, Kat, I need your Snapchat.
Okay, Victoria, this is the time. But this is Gaming Monthly this time.
Doesn't he,
It's not supposed to be us shit posting.
Isn't he a security guard
Yes, he is a security guard.
at night?
Yes. At night.
So I just like to imagine some
God, it'd be so
person comes
boring
up
to be a
into the
security guard
parking
in the
lot.
morning.
Well, you'd show up in the parking lot at night, right? Then Ryan just emerges from the shadows.
You're
He's like, "What you doing, punk?"
you're defending
He'd
against
say it
nothing.
to
The morning
I'm not
might be
sure that's
worse,
the
though.
best
an old lady trying to get some chilies.
The morning might be worse because it's all the drunk people that have passed out and are waking up.
Ryan has to defend Starbucks from having its pumpkin spice latte stolen.
Speaking of, they're back now.
Okay, so let's get into actual gaming.
He gets
Gaming
invaded
news.
by a bunch of old people.
So
Oh,
July,
Wait, no, not old
Video
people.
games.
So anyway,
A bunch of teenagers.
so July was another kind of slow month, but there was some.
Why?
No, August.
This
It's
is
August.
Good job, man. And it's
Okay,
almost the end of August.
I've been sick. I'm allowed to make one misread, okay? But it's been a boring month of August, kind of similar to July.
Dyslexia must be a bitch, huh?
Yeah, it is. There hasn't been too much going on, unfortunately. But there is some big news in August. Have you guys seen the reshaping of the gaming landscape?
Classic WoW is back!
It's back.
Yeah, Classic WoW has sat atop of Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube, and pretty much everything else for the last few days.
I'm expecting it to fall back down. In about
Oh,
a
it's
month.
gonna fall back down. There's no question to that.
Well, I
It's,
guess
No,
when
it
it
won't.
crashes, it's going to crash hard.
I think it's going to fall down, but I think it's going to still have a pretty significant following
Mhm.
for quite some time.
Yeah, considering the amount of people that were really excited for it.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
for sure.
yeah, my fiance is he's been anticipating this for months now. He's so excited.
Again, it's just it's really based on nostalgia, and I'm not sure how long that'll last. Again, I've never played World of Warcraft, so I don't really know.
No,
you know?
it really is because the last
So-
time I played, I was 12. So it's been 11, 12 years now.
But sometimes it's those games that you remember and that you want to play again, the ones that kind of shaped your
Mhm.
childhood.
Yeah,
Again, yeah, but I just have doubts about it. Again, I haven't never played it, so
it's
just based on other.
also kind of
experiences I've
happening
had.
at a weird time for Twitch in terms of the top games, because Fortnite is kind of crashing down.
Finally.
Yeah, it's
I
having
was
a really
really
hard
wrong
crash.
about Fortnite because I thought after a month it was going to be like nothing, and then it went on for about a year and a half. So
Yeah, the first podcast Monsker was ever on, one of his first orders of business was talking about how Fortnite was gonna die, and I'm
God.
mhm.
here we are. almost
Here we are.
almost exactly a year later from him saying that too.
I know. I follow
See?
a lot of not Minecraft. Fortnite Twitch streamers, and they're all falling off of it now, and talking about how they don't really have fun with it anymore. So rip.
That's why
I
Ninja
don't know
has
how
a
they
new
had fun with it to begin
sponsor.
with.
Yeah, it's weird. What I've tended to notice is that Fortnite, or Epic more so, they're getting a little bit too overconfident.
Yeah.
The changes that they've made lately are not in the, I don't want to say in the interest of their players, because it's more so they're not in the favor of their players, which gets all the ninjas and the Tifus of the world all riled up.
What do you mean?
So,
I don't follow anything with Fortnite. So I
okay,
have
so
no
the
idea what you're
easiest
meaning.
one, because I don't play the game really. I've played it, but I'm not an avid player. I just keep up. So the not the most recent thing, but a big thing was mechs. They added mechs into the game. that dropped just like Titanfall, and they were extremely overpowered, and there was a lot of complaints about it. And
I mean, it sounds like a cool concept, but
so
Very overpowered considering like the battle royale kind of playing field that it had. It wasn't like an even at all.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought you meant that like everyone could use one.
No, there were only like 4 or 5 that spawned in the game.
Oh, that's fucking trash.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
they were balanced very interestingly, and there was a lot of calls for it to be nerfed, and Epic kind of just
I thought you meant it
ignored
was like there were like a lot of them, and like I don't know what I was thinking of. Like I was thinking of at least like 25, maybe 50 or something. Like 25 would make it kind of rare, but a lot of people could get one. But only 5?
yeah.
Are you sure it was only 5?
It's something like that. I don't think it's more than 10.
But the big issue behind it really for players was Epic, who was, you know, Mr. Nice Guy. We release an update for our game every 15 seconds. They were just kind of ignoring it. And then when they finally addressed the mechs, their response was basically like, listen, we know you're panicking, but the top 1% of you is panicking. Our data shows otherwise. You're wrong. Just trust us. Which
They
told a
could
bunch of
quite
neckbeards that they were wrong.
They could quite possibly be right.
Oh, they could be.
However,
They could be.
that was a poor way to handle it.
Oh, yeah.
That was like they should have at least said something more neutral, right?
Nothing says
should
well-balanced PR department like,
Other
let's
than-
upset our Twitch streamers.
They just
Oh yeah, it's like the equivalent. It's like the equivalent of like telling your woman, "Hey, calm down."
oh no.
Ooh, yeah.
Or like somebody texts you like, it's fine, and you respond back like, oh, okay, cool, dope.
I remember this is really off topic, but like, so I work in a grocery store, right? I'm not going to name it. There was like, I'm over a few people. So in the grocery store,
Wait, for
of
the
course-
purpose, can we call it Moscow's daily bread?
daily bread.
Yeah.
I don't. I feel like there's a joke here that I'm not getting. Sure, we'll call it whatever we want. But anyway, so Moscow's daily bread. Of course, I work around the front, which means it's mostly cashiers, and mostly cashiers are women, right?
What you trying to
I
say?
said to one of them's like 16 years old. Tell her to go do something. She says, "Well, why can't we do it this way?" And I said, "No, we can't." No, she wanted someone else to come help her mop something up. It's a one-person job,
Okay,
right?
only
It's
one mop.
it's a mop. And I say to her, "No, you can't do that." And she says, "But why though?" And I said, "Because you can't. We're not doing it that way." And she says, "I don't see why we can't." And like I'm having an argument with this fucking child. She's 16 years old. And I'm looking at her and I say, "You can't. That's not a 2-person job. I'm only sending one of you." And she says, "But what?" Then she starts crying. And I just look at her and I said,
Was it
I said,
like
"Calm down."
Was she on her period?
Victoria.
What?
What, you think I asked her?
You think he checked?
Was it like gentle tears or was it like SpongeBob tears?
She's frustrated, tears.
I don't-
Okay, so like a Dr. Phil,
like, I
like
want
Dr.
her
Phil
to-
guest. Got it.
Yes, I guess. Like, listen, I'm immensely afraid of like something
Women?
happening where like,
I
yeah,
thought you were gonna say
in the workplace,
Funeral.
especially people that I'm over, I am immensely afraid of having any kind of report done on me.
I mean, fair.
Like, I am immensely afraid. And so I just look at her. I remember I took a step back from her, right? Like, I took a small step back and I say, you know, just calm down. And then I was getting
Calm down.
wary.
You're probably
I
on your
was-
period.
I was like, just calm down.
Go to aisle
She then turns
4,
around, she goes and does it. Another one of the managers, it was a woman, she went and she helped her out. And it's just like damn. Like, just calm down. That's not meant to be like she turned around, she walked off, right?
Okay.
Well, I don't want to like chase after her and be like, listen, you do what I tell you to.
You're just
I'm
chasing
just-
her around the store like, listen to me. I am your superior.
Listen to me. So I just leave her alone, and I'm just like, well, that's that. Like, I am so afraid of a report. Like, you don't understand.
She probably
am
doesn't
so
know how to use a
afraid.
mop.
A map.
She didn't, by the way.
She probably can't.
It's
A
like a
map or
Dora
a
the
mop?
Explorer outcast in a store.
Yeah. I had a job when I was like 17 or something, and I had to mop, and it was really heavy for me.
Well, you know who's
Well-
going to be mopping if they don't get their shit together? Epic Games. Oh. Got us back.
Ooh.
And you know
Oh,
who's gonna mop them up?
But okay, Moskro. So if
Sony.
you were, let's put you.
Oh, that was a good segue.
I didn't even hear you.
Oh.
So Moskro. So let's put you as you're now Mr. Epic. Okay, you are Moskro Epic.
You have the bread,
Mm.
Musk grip.
Yeah.
and you own the mop.
Yeah, you are now in charge of Epic Games, and your game. You put out something in your game. We'll call it mechs just to keep it lore accurate. You put out mechs. Nobody likes the mechs. They're all complaining. They're all calling for a change. How do you respond to your community, Mr. Epic?
Well, the answer would, of course, naturally be you'd like try to, what are the complaints, and see what you can work from there. I feel like a big problem is they're so limited, and that obviously if they're so strong, they need to be toned down a little. Maybe work on balancing with it. Like, was there any issues in terms of connectivity or any like glitches like that?
Probably not. They do a lot of testing for stuff before it releases. Not necessarily obviously the people that they have test aren't Twitter cancel culture, so they're a little bit less severe when they're in Epic testing.
Yeah.
But Epic does, I think. So they're a local company to me, and if I'm not mistaken, someone I know told me that who works there was saying that they do like about 2 weeks of different test periods for something before it goes live. Which
I already
in the grand
have a
scheme
quick
of things
fix.
is a pretty long time, considering the size and scale of Epic Games now.
Yeah, like again, I already have a quick fix. It just took me like 2 minutes to think of it. You know what the quick fix is?
Go ahead.
You separate it into a second game mode, and you just say mech game mode, and that's it.
You call
Oh,
it,
you're right.
you
like-
call it Fall
like-
of Titans.
I thought you were gonna say
But,
just
like, I
cancel
mean-
Fortnite.
No. I'm not. Listen, if I owned Epic and Fortnite was my biggest money maker, and these people were eating this shit I'm shoveling, you damn right I'm going to sell it. You damn right. But no. Listen
Monster
again.
shit shovel.
You just make a second game mode. Like that's like quick hot fix, right? You just separate it out from the
Right.
main game so people can get back to playing the main game, and you can try to rebalance the mechs later. It makes people enjoy the game now, like they are. They can use the mechs if they want to. Everybody's happy
Well,
until you
Epic was
figure out what's
Epic's,
happening.
Epic's wave was just no. We trust us. We're right. You're wrong. And they did
That's-
something
that's
similar
foolish.
the past few days. They added. I don't know anything about this because I don't care to. But it's something about like building. They changed how building works to some extent.
They nerfed the 90s,
What is 90s?
a 90-degree angle that lets you get to high ground.
Oh,
pretty
okay. So they nerfed the
quickly.
ramp.
They nerfed skill, is what they nerfed. Yeah.
Okay. So they nerfed skill in the game, and the community.
I didn't know Fortnite was a skilled game.
I would
No,
say
it is. Like
It
if you're
is
bad
a
at the
lot,
game, you
yeah.
won't get very far at all.
I'm
But, like,
just
if you're a
shitting on
god-
Fortnite, don't mind me.
Oh. But yeah, so it's, once again, Epic's response was basically like they did respond quicker than mechs, and they are making a change, but it wasn't. I mean, obviously, they're never going to do exactly what their community wants, but it was, again, they were slow to it. They kind of seemed a little, okay, fine about it.
Yeah.
How hard would it have been to separate into another game mode?
Not
I
at
feel
all. They have
like-
hundreds of game modes. But go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like League does this pretty well. How they have like the PBE where they put out like their new updates first, and people can play through them, and it can get updated into the main game depending on what people say. And then they have like seasonal game mode. Like I don't think it would have been that hard for
Yeah.
them
And
to do
Fortnite's
something
obviously
like that.
done a lot right, but it's just they picked the worst possible time to get so many things wrong so consistently. When Minecraft is on a resurgence and classic WoW's coming back out, Destiny 2's back alive again, No Man's Sky got a shot of steroids. Like they picked a really bad time to not look good.
Yeah,
Good.
that makes sense.
Fucking good.
Like
Good.
I feel like every big streamer besides like maybe Ninja is like done with Fortnite now.
See,
It's a good job, Epic.
even, I mean, I don't want to get too into Twitch and Mixer and all that, but even Ninja is kind of done with Fortnite because I see his Mixer deal as a big part of him because now that he has a Mixer deal and he has guaranteed income for however many years and however much money Mixer and Microsoft are paying him, he doesn't have to play Fortnite because he doesn't need to rely on streaming for money. He has money coming in.
yeah.
He can play whatever he wants, and if he drops 20,000 viewers because he wants to play
Halo?
Halo, which I'm sure he will, then it doesn't matter anymore. He doesn't have to worry about it. He doesn't have to worry about like, oh no, I don't have 20,000 subscribers anymore, because it really doesn't matter, because he's making between 10 to 30 million dollars for the rest of his contract with Mixer. So
Even my
Even
little
he's out.
brother, who learned who Ninja was because of Fortnite, says he likes the Halo Ninja better.
I like the Ryan Ninja better personally.
God.
Yeah, he loves us.
If we ever do a charity stream, which I hope we do, I'm gonna make the like top goal Ryan doing a ninja cosplay.
He has to do the pom pom.
Dye his
He
hair.
has to do the pom pom.
Pompon plays Fortnite.
You could just do the Snapchat filter. It gives you like blue and pink hair.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wait, I need to make him do that. Okay, moving on. Speaking of Ryan, let's talk about Spider-Man.
What?
So,
My
Mos-
segue
Oh,
was
yeah!
I know
better
Mosco's
before.
excited about this, but let me read what we're talking about. Get that out of the way, and then you can go. Sony purchased Insomniac Studios, who is the
Yes.
creator of Spider-Man game for PS4 that was a exclusive that did very, very well.
Yes.
He's waiting.
He goes correct.
Go ahead.
Next
Correct.
topic.
I am so excited.
Moscow
like,
mode
you know,
engage.
like okay, so I know it doesn't have a whole lot to do with it, but like, you know, the whole movie thing with Spider-Man,
Yes.
and then now they're moving to the games. It's like they're starting to pull it all together, or at least they seem to be attempting to.
Oh, what's that cronk?
I have-
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together. But no, I'm so excited. Like, I've been playing Marvel Spider-Man. I have a Let's Play, by the way. But anyway, I've been playing
Link in
Marvel.
the description.
Link in the
I did the art
description,
for it.
please, Anthony. Please. But no, listen. So, I've been playing it recently. It's fantastic. I love it. I am really excited to have, you know, I'm assuming Insomniac's been bought to make more Spider-Man games. That's my assumption. Because, you know, it worked out really well. They got a lot of sales. All the critics loved it. It's fantastic. And of course, it's a big move, seeing as how with the movies and whatnot, they're moving toward more Spider-Man stuff. I'm excited. I think this is a fantastic thing. I am excited.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. It's funny because I wasn't necessarily too excited about it until there was a second string of Sony video game side of Sony rumors that Sony is looking at making further PS4/PS5 exclusives also available on PC. So not available on Xbox, obviously, but if you can get it on PS4, then it also has a PC release, because for me, it's very clear that they just want to compete and make more money, because why wouldn't you want to make more money for really no effort? And if I can get Insomniac Spider-Man 2 on PC, then I'll buy that shit day one, because I prefer playing on my PC over PlayStation. So that's
So
just
you have a
win-win for
PlayStation.
me.
Play the first one.
I do,
Yeah.
but it's not.
You can't go out and get a $7 game. It's like $10 now, or $15.
Well, I mean,
like
I
that.
have it. I have it because I like shared, but I just thoroughly don't really enjoy PlayStation as much anymore. Like, if I have to play the game, if I really, really wanted to play the game on PlayStation, I would. But 9 times out of 10, I'd rather play something else on PC because I just enjoy the experience more.
Oh, definitely.
Frames, comfort, multitasking I can do like while playing if I need to, considering how much I have to work. My Siri is like invested in my fucking conversations today. I don't know what's
You
going
should turn
on.
your phone off.
You should.
Oh,
What? I'm a Mac, not a PC, so
Yeah, that's why I wasn't even going to talk to you during this one. But anyway,
you didn't even let me rant about WoW.
this is what I live with.
Only partially.
Anyway, God, you made me lose my fuck. Okay. God, you
PC
fucking
because
suck.
the experience.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just enjoy the overall PC experience and the frames and the prettiness of it, and I just enjoy all of that way more than I enjoy console. Everything just feels very sluggish and annoying to use.
Hold on. Let's. I got a response to this. Okay, I feel like it's an actual response and not my usual "fuck you" response. Okay, I got a reasoning this time, like a legit one. So, Spider-Man works really well on PS4. Like, it looks much better than I would have expected from a lot of just titles in general on PS4.
Mhm.
And it's something I've talked about a little bit before, is that because of the way, so whenever you go to make a PC game, you have to take into account the many different builds and different components, right?
Mhm.
Which is fine, makes sense. But two reasons why I like it better on console. Well, there's three reasons. One, I like playing action games on console because I like using the controller. If I play on PC, I'm probably going to use a controller anyway. So Two, since Spider-Man is made for the PS4, they can really push it much more on the PS4 than if they had to account for many different parts with PC. Does that make sense? Since the PS4 is a set console, they know exactly what specs they're working with, so therefore they can program it around those specs, which can then usually make the experience really enjoyable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean it does. I just have what I prefer, I guess. I mean, I used to only play console, and then I just, I haven't really. The only games I go back for really are sports games, and that's mostly just because when I play a sports game, I'm like laying in bed. I'm not wanting to actively participate. I just want to throw baseballs at some fucking fake character's head.
Or me.
Yeah, I think you're in the majority with that. I think definitely PC is king nowadays, and it will be going forward. I think you can see the trend in that. I think you see more console games being made, like having a PC version come out, than the other way around in the past couple of years. Like, I know a lot of games that I follow, it's like the next one now it's available on PC. You really don't see that going the other way anymore.
Yeah, Rose.
I'm not even gonna buy another console. I don't think. Like, maybe not in the rest of my life. I'm done.
Yeah,
For like $300. Yeah, I'd much rather put like that $300 into upgrading my PC, just because the lifestyle improvement overall than another console.
Plus, if they're gonna keep making consoles closer to PC, then I'm in the same mindset. Like, I'd just rather upgrade my PC than spend $500 on a console that's being made to be more like a gaming computer. It's just silly to me.
It's more of, some people don't want to fool with gaming PCs. That's going to start, being phased out over time.
Yeah. I mean, it's even now starting to get phased out with like NZXT build, where you can get a real PC, and it's still pre-built. Stuff like that's going to start to kind of become king.
It's also another thing to consider is console gaming is still, you get it in the box, you hook it up, it works perfect. Every game has that insured.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It will
always have its casual audience. I will never argue that.
Again, sometimes it doesn't, but as soon as you get it, it's always ready to go, usually.
That's true, but the disc could break, or you could scratch it, you could lose it, or it probably wouldn't break. But on a PC, like once you've downloaded that, or once you've bought that key on Steam, you always have it. You can switch it over to any computer, and it's something that I think would be much harder to lose than a physical copy, as comforting as a physical copy may be.
I like
only
having
if you buy physical copies, because most people from that I know of, because I know people still buy physical copies, but most people now just download them because it's easier to have just a gaming library on your console or PC or whatever.
I'm pretty sure Derek's that person. I'm pretty sure Derek has no physical discs. I think he's told me that before.
Yeah, I barely have any. I have 30 PS4 games, and I have 4 discs.
And
Again,
and your
I
PC
prefer-
came without a CD drive, so you've always had. I mean, same.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I guess the Switch, like, now I'll be buying everything on the Switch digitally because at first I didn't have an SD, but yeah, now it's just going to be
Okay.
completely digital. Yeah.
Again, I prefer having a physical disc. There's like I
You're
just
also a boomer,
like to have the
so-
disc. Another reason is actually like this is no. There's the internet here where I live is really garbage, and currently like it's like universally garbage. It's pretty bad. Like the only places where it's not bad is like if you live in the city, and by in the city is basically like an off-road shanty town in like Carolina. So it's like you gotta look at it. If I buy a game, right, that's 23 gigabytes, I have to wait about 2 days before I can play it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a
Accurate.
really shitty thing. Yeah.
So then you have to think about, well, I only have limited storage unless I just buy towers and towers of shit. Whenever a CD I'm not going to say it's more reliable, but it kind of is more reliable in terms of if you like, say a hard drive, right? A CD is going to be fine 99% of the time because it's stored separately by itself and it's all on the CD. And unless a CD get scratched, which will only get scratched if you're careless, then it'll always be perfectly fine, ready to use. So
Yeah, they're just more forgiving.
yes, and it's just I can't store all the games in my library, so I have to switch them out. Like I want to be able to play my games forever, and like what happens if just Steam goes down one day? That's going to be horrible.
I mean, you can use Steam offline.
No. I mean, so I have all the
Steam
games.
does-
Say I own 200 games on Steam, I can only store about 20 of them. I lose access to the other 80 if Steam, for some reason, just I don't know, goes bankrupt tomorrow.
Oh yeah, so like Valve just says yeet and all your games are gone.
Yeah, I guess
No,
that's true.
not even that. If Valve just goes out of business, they're not going out of
Yeah,
business.
it's
But
always
just
a
to
risk.
say, if they do, right, it's gone.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It's
that's
gone.
kind of a risk with everything in the age of digital media. That's I mean, that was the same thing people said when, people stopped buying CDs for music in mass, and people stopped buying before that. Again, not to sound like a boomer, records to, the next.
Well, like the difference with that
Cassettes.
is you can just download a song from YouTube. You can't download a video game from YouTube yet. They're not as
Yeah.
readily available.
Yeah.
You damn right it's going to happen sometime with how we're going, like in another 20 years. You damn right. But no, again,
we
you
need
know,
another 20.
I'm-
It's literally
I was gonna
about
say,
to be a
when is
thing.
Google releasing the streaming
That's how the
thing?
Stadia works.
you cannot pirate it like you can music.
Oh, I didn't know you were saying pirate.
They'll figure out a way.
It's I'm sure they will, but it's like, again, an average game now is like 50 gigabytes, while an average song is like,
God, there's
I don't
some
know,
games
like-
that are up there. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 on
100
launch day was
megabytes?
over 100 gigabytes.
100 megabytes is a stupid overshoot for songs. It's just, you can store thousands upon thousands of songs. It's easy. You can store DVDs. Well, Blu-ray's different, like 1080p is different, but you can still store like an hour's worth of footage for like 3-4 gigabytes. Again, a full game's 50 to 100 gigabytes, and it's,
Yeah.
it's much harder to just get as quickly. I'm not concerned about music because I can very quickly download so many megabytes, and I can store like a lot of them. I cannot store a lot of video games, and I download them very slowly. So it's like,
Makes sense.
gotta kind of. I'm concerned about what I'm buying will not be accessible to me later.
You know what else Moscow downloaded slowly? Destiny
What?
2. Took him a long time to download that game.
The Elder Scrolls Online, that took me like 3 or 4 days.
But Destiny
awful.
2 took you a
Destiny
long time
2
to
took me
download.
about a week.
Took you a long time to download because you were re-downloading it because Destiny 2 is once again, for like the 6th rebirth of its life cycle, is good again. So Destiny 2 has had the most interesting life cycle of a game. It's outmatched Destiny 1 in terms of life cycle. It's had the strangest roundabout of shit happening to it. Once again, like Destiny 1 started out poor. And then it looked like it was going to get better. Got worse. Forsaken played Taken King's role and picked it back up. Then there was another slight dip. And with new seasons and the split from Activision and Bungie, things are looking up. Things are going good. They've added cross save that is now live. And our own Derek has fucking sold away his life to that game in the past month or so. And
Derek's been going pretty hard.
yeah, he's on streamer level. He's been streaming it a lot, and he's on streamer level with the amount of ridiculous. I always look at Destiny 2, and when I look at a streamer, they've got like 2,000 shards, like legendary shards. That's when I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, they don't have a life, and I'm jealous.
Don't tell me Derek has 2,000 legendary.
Yeah, I
shards.
do. I have 500 enhancement cores too.
Jesus. Okay.
Did
Jesus
I know?
Christ,
I know.
Derek.
I'm very jealous of him. But the future of Destiny 2, it looks bright. It looks real bright. And on Steam, thank fucking God.
I'm tired of the. What launcher is it? Damn it! Is
Battle.net.
Battle.net. I fucking hate Battle.net. It's aggravating to look at. And it's aggravating to use.
Yeah, Battle.net's not very good. The Steam thing is going to be fucking amazing. I'm
Do you know-
sure of it.
Do you know why it took me so long to download Destiny 2 for the first time? Whenever I
7 million
downloaded it,
gigabytes.
it's that. And there's also the fact whenever I downloaded it, what happened is Battle.net stopped working. So then I had to uninstall.
Battle.net.
Yes. And then I had to uninstall Battle.net. And then I had to redown Battle.net. I had to let it update and do all this crazy shit on my shitty ass internet. And then I had to redown Destiny a second time. It was awful. Like, just Jesus Christ. I just want to play
You'll
things
be able
on
to have
Steam.
it on Steam soon, and you'll have Shadowkeep. And for people who haven't played Destiny, this is my favorite part about the future of Destiny 2. They're adding a free-to-play aspect, which is so overdue for that game, called New Light, which is just such a spectacular idea for that game. It's going to inject so much life, especially into the PC community, because the combination of cross-save with people coming from console finally able to have all their stuff on PC and transfer over, and the combination of going free-to-play, it's going to be a new game, essentially, in terms of community.
Can you play Destiny on a Mac?
Not your Mac.
Not
Cool.
your Mac. True, dude.
I mean, you have
It's a little.
you have a good computer and
It
everything,
can run
but
WoW.
like not
That's all I
Destiny.
need right now.
It cannot run Destiny.
It's running WoW real great.
But can it run Crisis, though?
No.
Probably not. You're lucky it runs Google
God,
Chrome.
I remember when that was a thing. That was wild times, because that was like a real thing. It wasn't just a meme. Like when I used to watch G4 TV all the time when I was a kid. And
No,
whenever they
Crisis
would-
still
And, like, 3
ruins
weeks
gameplay.
ago.
Yeah, and when they would have PCs come on like Attack of the Show or something, and they'd be talking about the PCs, at least in the early to mid 2000s when it first released, they'd be like, so we're gonna show you running Crisis at high, and it's getting about 45 to 55 FPS. It's very impressive. Shit's crazy.
Crisis still is really graphic intensive even
But
today.
before we get too off topic, Derek, I wanted to
Yes.
ask you, since you have, I would say you're the Destiny aficionado at this point, but the amount of time you've sold away, what do you think the future of Destiny 2 looks like before it gets here?
So I think everything we know about Shadowkeep is pretty amazing. The Steam transfer is pretty amazing. Cross save makes me think that cross platform might be a thing eventually. I personally believe that it can't go down from here on. I really don't think so. Unless Destiny or Bungie becomes like Digital Extremes, the developers of Warframe,
Mhm.
and there's a content drought every other month, then maybe. But as of now, no, I don't think it can go down. I really don't.
Well, here's to looking forward to the future. I am going to play our ad, which today is Anchor. And after Anchor, we will get into Kat's most exciting topic for today, which is Smash.
Yay!
Smash.
All right, Kat. So hit us with the hot Smash news.
All right.
I'm going to sip
So-
my tea.
Okay. So it was yesterday or a few days ago. just okay. Keep in mind that this came from an anonymous source on 4chan, so it's not exactly
Where
credible.
all the great news coming
But-
from.
Here we are.
It's incredibly legit.
Okay, I'm just putting it out there so everyone knows. Okay, but so the post basically says September 12th. There's a new Smash character coming out. It's female, and everyone's going to be disappointed about it. And people were like, "What the fuck? Who's this going to be?" Because yeah.
I think
And
I
then
remember this.
They later, after like that fucking spread on Twitter and everyone like got super mad about it, they posted another thing that said like that the new female rep was going to have a mecha. And so basically how this plays into Overwatch is that
It'll be
I think it was on Amazon. There was like an Overwatch themed Switch case that was like on the market, but then they like quickly took it off as soon as it started blowing up, and people started getting a little sus about it. And there was also a Diva Pro controller, so people were kind of putting together like, okay, so this is a female character that no one's expecting that has a mecha, and there's Overwatch shit going on with the Switch. It kind of adds up, you know. And people also think that Overwatch is going to come to the Switch, and they think that this is a way that they can advertise Overwatch going to the Switch by putting one of the characters in their most popular game.
I
You
could
know,
for sure see Overwatch on Switch. I could definitely see that.
Or the reason this is happening is because Overwatch is one of the biggest esports in the world. Did you ever think of that? It's fucking crazy, huh?
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Maybe, yeah,
Took me
maybe
a
there's
second to
just
connect the
Switch
dots.
accessories because it's the biggest
I don't know because
esports game in the world.
There were similar leaks about Diablo before Diablo came out, and then Diablo was confirmed.
And why would they have like Switch merch for a game that they don't even have available on the Switch?
I mean, yeah, sure, it'll
Just
come
doesn't make
to it'll come to Switch maybe, but I'm just saying that I doubt it's because with that mech info, there's so many characters that could be now that are linked to Nintendo. So
I was actually
Well,
thinking when you said
of
Meg,
course.
I was thinking of the Borderlands 3 character.
the
She has a
Borderlands
me-
3.
No, I'm
character.
serious. I'm serious. A heart attack. Like she has a Mac.
I'm serious as a heart attack.
I mean,
You're
hey,
such a boomer.
Fortnite X.
Oh God, it's gonna
Borderlands
be a
happened.
Fortnite.
Yeah, it did happen, dude.
No. It's gonna be a Fortnite.
Yeah, it's gonna be the mecha team leader, dude.
Okay, Kat,
Instant-
which would you rather have? Would you rather have Fortnite and Smash or Diva?
Jesus fuck.
Neither.
Oh my god. Okay, if Fortnite was in Smash, the only move could be the default dance.
Any truers?
Okay.
I like that.
I think, like, of course, like, there could be a lot of, like, female characters with a mech that could be in the game. But I think with just, like, them taking, like, the Switch case off of the internet, like, super fast after this blew up and, like, the Diva Pro controller and all of it, like, it would just kind of make sense that it's Diva. But, you know, it would also make a lot of people really mad because a lot of people want other characters like fucking Cooking Mama and like Waluigi and Steve from
Who the hell wants
Minecraft.
I
Cooking
predicted
Mama.
Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah,
I
so
want
did I,
Cooking
dude.
Oh
Mama.
my god.
Who the hell wants
Yeah.
to play as Cooking Mama?
I
wanna
do.
Play as Cooking Mama.
I want to
Can
play
I
as
just say
Cooking
that
I'm
it
not
was all the
saying
women that
you
wanted
would.
to play
Derek
the cooking?
screamed it.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Derek is Cooking Mama.
that
Dude,
is true.
imagine
What?
if Kirby ate her.
Damn.
Achi base, dude.
Chef.com.
But no, it
So
makes
good.
perfect sense for Diva to be the one going into the game because it's Switch made by Nintendo. Nintendo is like a lot of their stuff's a Japanese audience. Diva is big pro gamer in Overwatch lore. She's Japanese. She's like an idol in the game. So it's kind of makes sense.
At
Like,
least it's
I
not
can understand
Tracer,
that.
like people initially thought.
Already Tracer.
Oh God.
Nerf.
I'm already
Max.
Tracer.
I'm already Tracer.
Dude, okay, the Fortnite mech
Oh,
looks exactly
God.
like Diva's mech. Like,
Oh, shut up.
Oh,
like no,
kinda
it
did.
does.
It kind of did, but like I can't even look past the fact it has a fucking
now we're getting
Titanfall.
way too far away.
I still can get over the fact it literally had Titanfall in it. It should have just been called like, Fall Titan. Like, okay.
Fighting tall.
Okay, hold on a minute.
Okay,
This
sorry.
mech
Oh,
really
no.
does look like Diva Mech, though. I just looked at it. It looks
Fucking
really
yikes.
similar.
I can't wait until
Right?
this. I can't wait until this is finally over with, and it's nowhere close to Diva.
I know.
That would
I'm
be
like,
amusing.
this is just like, I was really into like the theories that people had and everything, because it all kind of makes sense. But I'm actually like really excited to see who's gonna be in Smash, like legit.
Who's gonna
Not
get
from-
smashed? Sorry.
All right.
Me.
Thank you. Perfect. Speaking
Cooking
of
Mama.
Smash, let's talk about the Avengers. So, I think
Her ultimate, she takes off her
all of
apron,
us were
and all the
together
characters
watching
just,
together,
you know,
with the
distracted.
exception of Gwen, 'cause she had not joined us yet during E3 when they showed gameplay, or what seemed like gameplay of the.
Aha!
the new
My
Avengers
time
game.
has arrived.
And the new Avengers
I wish I
game
could hear.
looked like shit when when it was shown. Everyone hated it. They hated how the characters looked. It looked clunky. They didn't tell anything about the game. They just showed this trailer that out of context made no sense right after Endgame where the characters were different. But we've now seen actual gameplay and it looks really fucking good. Like really good. So the easiest comparison I can make is God of War, the most recent one. Okay.
Again, you remember when I said it looks okay. It looks like it could be good.
But yeah, so new Avengers look good. Moscrow claims he called it.
Yes.
We won't get into Sublantics. But no, it looked really cool. Thor played a lot like God of War, it seemed like. Black Widow seemed very... I know not everyone played this game. Black Widow kind of seemed like she controlled like the character in Sleeping Dogs. Iron Man looked very similar to Anthem. I'm trying to find comparisons to make it easy. Hulk kind of just like, you know, he played like Hulk. How you'd imagine Hulk playing. You just fucking run through
Me
everything.
smash.
Yeah, just me smash and fucking smash everything. But
Gotcha.
I don't know. I want that game to be so good. And I don't know if it can be. I can't foresee a world where an Avengers game actually can live up to hype because they never do.
I feel
Marvel
like
in
it
general.
can.
With the exception of the Spider-Man game, of course.
The reason I feel like it can is because do you remember Batman Arkham Asylum?
I do. Nobody thought
The
that
Batman
would
games.
succeed.
They had shitty game after shitty game after shitty game, and they come out with like this hit masterpiece.
That is a fair point.
Maybe it will. I'm not sure if it'll be a masterpiece, but you know, maybe it'll be a fun game. I feel pretty confident that it'll be a fun game.
I mean,
At
my
least.
ideal game is really just a nice, fun, like 4 to 5 player co-op experience through a story with the Avengers. You know, that's kind of just. It just seems like that should be something that already exists. I mean, I know there's Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but the most recent one was a Switch exclusive. So
I just want to play an Iron Man game that's good. That's what I want.
movie games have had a rough lifespan. The only movie games that have really ever succeeded, like movie tie-in games, were the old Lord of the Rings movie tie-in games.
That's
They don't
because,
work
like,
that well the other way either. I mean, like movies don't translate well
Yeah,
into
not,
games.
Not really. I mean, the Assassin's Creed one wasn't too bad. But-
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I
Mortal
thought it-
Kombat movie. Oh yeah.
Don't forget the Fortnite
They-
movie.
There is one movie game that actually translated really well back and forth. Can't remember what it is.
Oh my god, can you imagine Fortnite the fucking... Oh my god.
Ninja's the narrator.
I guarantee you The Rock would be in it. I guarantee you.
It's like The Rock and John Cena.
The Rock's
What?
building rocks the whole time.
John
Dwayne the Rock Johnson makes a return.
Oh my god. Okay, so...
Sorry.
Alright, let's get through the next 2 pieces of news rather quickly. I just kind of want to touch on them because one I'm personally really excited about. So Mountain Blade is a older game, and they announced a sequel 7 years ago.
Oh,
And we finally have a release date for early access, which will be March
The long
2020. And the game's in a playable state. The beta's looking good. Everything about it's looking great. It's not it's not like a Duke Nukem thing. Like the developer's just tiny, and they wanted to just kind of make the same game, but you know, more modernized. But 7 fucking years. I personally have been waiting for 4. I've been waiting for 4. But what's really cool about this game in particular and its developers is they're releasing certain tools and aspects and information about their game to modders in their community so that when the game comes out, within the first month, there will already be full-fledged overhaul mods for the game, which is what kept the game alive so long to begin with, which is so fucking cool to me.
That's smart.
Like, for a couple examples, it's releasing, in, like I said, early access is March 2020. We can expect the full game by the end of 2020. And when the game fully launches, there will be a Witcher mod, a Game of Thrones mod, and a Lord of the Rings mod, basically completed and ready to go, which is so fucking cool. I wish more developers would be like that.
Wait, isn't that game going to be multiplayer?
It has a multiplayer aspect, which is battles, but not like a... So the single player revolves around you traversing around a world, collecting soldiers and troops, and it's a very hardcore role-playing game, but the multiplayer is about the combat, because the combat's really good. The combat inspired Mordhau, actually, and For Honor very heavily. So
again, that would have been fantastic if they had the campaign elements in the multiplayer.
yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of spit that out because I'm really excited for that. And 7 fucking years is a long time. Bully 2 news. There is some Bully 2 rumors that are seemingly stronger than other ones. Actually, I think this might be the first time we've ever talked about Bully 2 on here, because all the other rumors and headlines have always seemed so bullshit to me. I've never wanted to touch on them. And that being said, this did come from Reddit, so a grain of salt. But this one's kind of gotten some different treatment, because this one was directly denied as opposed to being kind of ignored for being stupid. This one had a lot of leaked images. They were very realistic. They had to do with, like, maps and game art, potential, it had a project name. So we might be getting Bully 2 in the near future, and I'm fucking okay with it. This Bully was amazing. Did you guys all play Bully? I hope so.
No.
I did.
I did not.
What about you, Derek? Did you play Bully?
I did play Bully. It was pretty good, yeah.
Did you say you did, Gwen?
No, I said I don't, and I live under a rock.
Oh man, Bully was so good. You could give kids wedgies.
Just watch Tyler 1 play it. Best experience of your life.
Wait, oh, really?
Yes, Tyler 1 did play it.
We might have,
like the best thing ever.
Watch party.
we might have to do a Patreon watch party of that, because that
Derek,
sounds
that's
fucking
fantastic.
fun.
Thank you for
You're
this
welcome.
gift you've given
Yeah,
me.
Bully was a really it was way ahead of its time too. If you actually played it, it was really well made game. It was made by Rockstar. It was basically Grand Theft Auto, like school edition.
Oh no, okay.
That sounds
Move on.
cool.
That sounds
No
fun,
gun.
actually.
You couldn't kill anyone. Maybe I should have
Oh,
clarified.
so it's not like 2019 Bully? Sorry, too soon?
Jesus Christ. That's the joke I was
You
going
can
to
cut that.
Wow.
You can cut
They
that.
They could if they made it like you go to college.
Oh,
Right?
man.
Okay, so we're gonna move
Yeah.
on.
You can cut that.
We're
I'm sorry,
then
that was
About
bad.
school shootings.
Kill all the students.
Okay, we're gonna move on before I have any more to cut, because Jesus Christ.
It was good though.
Oh my! I don't know if I'm gonna call that good.
There
Okay,
was a shock factor. I'd call it good.
so we have our first voice message to listen to.
A voice
Oh my God.
message.
Yeah, it's gonna lead us into our final topic. So I'm gonna go ahead and play that.
Hey guys, I wanted to ask what your thoughts are on the No Man's Sky Beyond update. Do you think the game is saved, and will you guys check it out, or do we not care? Thank you.
So, do we care?
I do care a lot, actually, because ever since that game released, I've wanted to play it. It got released. It was atrocious. And now we're, 2 years? 3 years? I don't fucking know how long it's been.
I'll let you know in
And
a
since its
second.
release. And it looks good. It looks really good now.
it's made
It
a
looks
comeback.
really good.
So, I have a personal
It's
vendetta
been-
with this game.
Sorry, it's been 3 years. August 9th, 2016 was its initial release.
Jesus,
There we
dude,
go.
that's crazy.
3
Okay.
years.
So
Yep.
before the game came out, I have a very vivid memory when it was announced.
I think I'm in the same boat as you. Go on.
When it was announced at E3, me and my friend were watching E3 together, and we both freaked out because it looked fucking amazing. The gameplay they showed and the way it was described was like, oh my god, this sounds so fucking cool. So we waited, and we waited, and we waited. Every time, Mr. Sean Murray was on a talk show or a podcast or anything, he was praising the game, saying how good it was, and then it releases, and I waited to see some reviews, and holy shit, that game was not anywhere near what anyone said. I mean, it broke records for refunds. It had server issues. It had frame rate issues. The procedurally generated universe didn't even work properly.
It crashed all the
crashed
time.
all the time. There was no multiplayer elements, even though he said there would be. For years he said there was gonna be, and there wasn't. And he went off the face of the fucking earth. He disappeared. He completely ghosted
He
the
went
internet.
into No Man's Sky.
Yeah, he disappeared. He and that's when No Man's Buy was coined. Nobody could contact him.
I haven't heard that one.
He wouldn't.
Really?
He wouldn't make a statement.
No.
He wouldn't do anything. He just ignored it. And then there was like some shitty posts from the No Man's Sky official account saying like, "Oh, we'll get over it. Not our fault." Then there was rumors that Sony pressured them and underfunded them, and it was a big fucking mess. And then one day, the return of the Murray.
2 years later.
Sean Murray kind of became public again, and they started putting some work into the game. They released a few patches, and the game was looking good. Now, recently, we've gotten No Man's Sky Beyond, which has basically turned the game completely around. And the game is in the absolute best state it's ever been in, to the point where it's being streamed, played, communities are involved. It's one of the top sold on Steam right now. It's insane. It was a complete turnaround. It took them 3 years,
They did it.
but they
I
fucking
have a
did it.
question.
I have an answer, hopefully.
Well, like, how close is it to their original promises?
Almost exactly.
What? Wait, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's the gameplay looks different than what we were originally promised, but they like third person's added, more ships.
You can
Third
ride
person?
dogs.
I can play it.
Wait, you mean like do they
there's
have the whole
multiplayer.
trade route things?
I think there's some form of trading. I've been watching King Gathalion play it a lot. Okay, here's an example of what this game's turned into. So King Gathalion, who isn't a secret that we like him and support him. He has been streaming it lately. For the past week, he's been trying to find a community planet for him and his Twitch community to all go inhabit. So the max instance is 32 people, with max groups being 4. But because the same universe exists for everyone, because all the planets are randomized, everyone has the same planets on a console, or a platform rather. So on PC, he found a planet after a week. He's spent a week of streaming this game like 6 to 7 hours a day, just going to different planets until he found one that was perfect. He found the one that was perfect. He inhabited it. Now his community's inhabiting it, and they're breaking the game, but they have a home.
They have what?
A home.
A home.
They found home.
Hey, like this. We need to get this game.
I told Anthony that.
And yes, there are trade
like a
routes
week
now,
ago.
Moskra. There are trade routes.
Listen. I remember. I got the game. Like, I bought it day one, right? Like, as in,
no.
I picked it up the night before, and I had it installed while I went to school. Then I come back
That's
home.
worse than how I felt. Go on.
This is bad.
Hang on,
So I
grab my
get home.
tea.
I plug it in. I'm so excited. I put it in. I played for about 3-4 hours, right? It was fucking horrible. And I think to myself, well, maybe, like, because nothing's really explained to you, at least whenever I played it, at least. Like, it didn't feel like anything was explained to you. You're trapped on this random ass planet with hardly anything to do. I thought to myself, well, I'll just get out there and I'll find other people and it'll be a good time, right? Wrong. I was fucking wrong. Because of course you can't meet anyone at that time. It was horrible. I was really disappointed. I still own it though. I still have the copy I got. So maybe I should boot it up on PlayStation 4 and see how it works.
All right,
and
so
everything.
for the less the people without vendettas, Kat, Gwen, and Victoria, outside looking in,
Oh dear.
The vendetta.
how we feeling about No Man's Sky with the story, with the saga?
It sounds cool. I mean, it's sad that he wasn't
Yeah.
really there in the beginning, but I can understand how, I don't know, something could have happened and
Yeah.
you're just like super depressed about your
He
life's
kinda
work.
hid because of the community backlash.
Yeah. But I mean, it's great that they eventually followed through and kind of gave people what they wanted and are giving people something that they enjoy. That's cool. Good for him.
Anything
Agree.
from you, Kat? Agree, Victoria?
I also agree. It's cool that he like listened to the community and actually like took their feedback rather than like rejected it and said like, haha, nope.
Yeah. Well,
I'm right.
to answer your question, our friend, we care, and we think its future is bright. And now, for one trivia question, and then we wrap this up. It's an easy one.
Oh dear. Oh wait, we have to go to the trivia thing in Discord, guys. Trivia answers.
You have trivia answers.
Okay.
And remember, I will count down from 10. At the end of 10, you will enter your answer, and we will see who is right. All right. Hang on. I'm trying to find the one I found. All right. So since we talked about World of Warcraft, what was the first expansion pack to be released for World of Warcraft?
I have multiple choice.
What was the first expansion pack to be released for World of Warcraft? 10, 9, 8, 7,
Oh, wait.
6,
Fuck!
5, 4, 3,
Oh,
Two.
wait, no, that's not.
1.
Wait a minute.
The answer is The Burning Crusade.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
Okay,
I
Derek
couldn't
needs
think
to
of
get,
it,
like
but-
exiled because he just
I
knows all
put-
the answers.
I'm gonna give
So-
the imaginary points to Derek and Gwen because Gwen had B something and I've been there, so I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt.
I
Kat
fucked up
should get
the
a brownie
and I
point.
spelled wrong.
We're so close.
Wrath of the Witch King. Classic.
Wrath of the Lich King.
Jesus Christ.
I'm already Tracer. I want that expansion pack.
Listen, I even heard you counting down. I think to myself, I best hurry. I better hurry up.
Damn it. Oh my god.
Wrath of the Witch King.
Okay, so
I'd play that expansion.
that's going to bring us to the end of this episode of the 8th Bit Podcast. Thank you for listening. If you liked it, leave us a rating, a thumbs up, a description, a high five, whatever it is you use on the podcast app of your choice. Let us know you like us. We do have a Patreon. If you want to support us, make sure you also look in the description of this podcast if you want to leave us voice messages so you can have your chance to be on the podcast and have us debate your question or your comment, or just tell Moscow he's pretty.
Yay!
Hey,
Me too.
And Gwen, just tell us all we're pretty. Tell Ryan he has muscles. If you don't tell him, he gets a little upset and he gets
Wait,
tell him he
no.
looks like
self-conscious.
ninja.
Ryan's a
ninja.
beta. Pass it on.
And with that,
But it's spelled B8A.
it's spelled B8. Oh my god. And with that, we come to the end of the 8th Bit Podcast. Make sure you keep an eye out for all the stuff we have coming up, including Let's Plays, and my favorite announcement I've ever had to announce, we soon will have Dungeons and Dragons.
Yay!
And
I'm excited.
Yay!
they're all excited. It's going to be fun. It's going to be in a form of a podcast, so if you are listening on an app to us right now, you will have your Dungeons and Dragons episode from us in the same spot. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and we will see you on the next episode of the 8th Bit Podcast.
In honor of Ryan, love you.
Bye, bitch.
In honor of Ryan, Roid Rage! Just chat it up. Just chat it up.
Well, I gotta go take a shit. Bye.
Have fun.
He literally texted Anthony and was like, "Can we end soon?"
Oh no.
Poor guy. You're cutting this, right?